0-1 Esports going up against the club. A best of 7. Gotta win 4 to move forward. Let's get to the Verizon Skybox.
The only club that matters is the club of teams that are going to the main event. And it is a best of 7, sticking away from either of these teams, making it to that point. The Death said it well, Johnny. Everything you have done this season does not matter anymore. It is all about putting it on the line in this game, putting together the performances, and getting yourself into top 16.
Yeah, the club were so close already today, coming out of that 2-1 round. They had version 1 of the ropes. They almost went 3-1 up in games, and open net miss denied them that. 0-1 Esports, meanwhile, they've had to come back from a deficit in Swiss 2 times already. They've started off today very strong. Really, the desk said, they have not faced a team, well, they've not beaten a team like the club yet. They've lost to all the tough competition they played.
For anyone that did get a chance to join us for the club's match against version 1, they were a single overtime away from triple match points. They are not a team that was far off already having made it. This is where they find themselves. The teams can flounder on occasion where they were that close to their perceived goal.
Oh.
Got to put together the performances here as the Sonics just kind of let the club off of that particular one, just handed it straight over to KV1. Now looking for the infield pass. And Stromic back down. Realized that the play wasn't going to go his way, but this is the play that really stood out for us, Johnny. Lost was everything for the club. When he was playing well, the club was getting goals, getting wins.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Astromic and KV1 both had some phenomenal moments, but Lost, just the whole series was an insane series from him against version 1. Version 1, one of the best defensive teams in the world, and Lost made them look so simple to play against at times. So that's the main man that 0-1 have got to watch out for. So far, they're handling it just fine, denying all of the extremely threatening chances, but the club are getting to play their favorite style. Getting up close and personal, early interceptions, tons of shots on target. None of them really coming to fruition so far. This is what they want to do, and I talked to Jack about the club. Apparently Jack says that they're the team here at the event who play on stage the closest to their practice style. In practice, this is what they do. A lot of other teams try and emulate this in practice, can't bring it to competitive. The club have figured out a way to do that. They are playing exactly as they practiced in the run-up to Wildcard.
For me, the big question is, can 0-1 deal with the follow-up challenges? Not the first touch, but the ones where you think that the club are done playing the ball and, oh no, they're half rotated and just right back on it. I don't know why he's done that. Those questions.
Oh!
A trip up on Lost means that Izonix can get the first goal of the series.
Yeah, really nice play there from Moslin, cutting the play off, but you got to wonder what the club were expecting there when they lost control of the ball. No third man present. They can leave themselves open at times. This is something that we have seen from them in almost every match that they've played. So when you've got a team who are this aggressive, just full send every single play, there will be openings to shoot from long distance. And 0-1 Esports, a more defensive team, will be looking for those.
Well, there's more of the plays. They might actually go the whole way with this one. Great positioning, though. Just kept the car as large as possible, but they're sticking around. Lost does steal 100 boost. Great challenge, though. Clears the danger. Lost pops the ball back up. Stromic decides to go backboard yet again. For once, he doesn't see someone on the backboard. He'll be happy not to see a player like Torment, who was cutting those plays out every single time. It'll be up to 0-1 Esports to recognize the danger and make sure they have their own player that is ready for those, because the club are going to go for it often.
And in their pre-event interviews, Zonix said that he is that guy for the team. He's the third man. He's the priority defender for this team. But how on earth is he going to produce defense the likes of Torment? I mean, not many players in the world can say that they've done that. The defense has been on point so far from 0-1 Esports. They almost had another chance in the infield there, but Club able to nullify that with a key demo. And that's bouncing downwards. Moston reads it. He's got the second goal. Great read by Moston, but an even better hit to get that bounced in the first place.
Yeah, just recognized the situation they were in. Hey, the shot on target isn't there. If I try and put it off the backboard, I'm gonna get dunked on. Let's put it even higher and get our team a 2-goal advantage. And as much as I feel like many of us were expecting the club to be the team coming out firing, it's 0-1 Esports who are unfazed. The club have done what we expected them to do, but O1 Esports have done what many might not have, and that is look comfortable against it.
You know, we might have underestimated O1 Esports because when it goes wrong for this team, it goes really wrong. Now, it's starting to go a bit wrong in this play. Must have been able to dive in the way of the play. Whereas the club, even in their losses, they've looked competitive, taking a couple of games off SSG, a couple of games off V1. That's why we think this team, the club, are the favorites in the matchup. O1 getting completely obliterated by Dignitas, only taking a game off Carmine Corp. You know, neither team's taking a series off a currently qualified team from the Wildcard. So really, a lot of the criticism being thrown at O1, saying they've had an easy run, should also be given to the club. I think both these teams have earned their spot in this 5th round. The winner absolutely deserves a spot in the main event.
It's very hard to read what a match against Dignitas is like at the moment, because they, kind of like how you were describing O1 Esports, when it's gone wrong, it has gone really wrong, but their highs have also been exceptionally high. And we look forward to seeing more of that next week. But for O1 Esports, this was as good as it could have got. It might get even better. But 2-0 is the score they'll have to settle for, and I don't think they will complain.
O1 Esports with their first game in the series. They handled the club's pressure a whole lot better than version 1 did in their first game against them. The club 3-0'd version 1 in their opening game that they played in round 4. Version 1 really had to dig their heels into the ground there to just get a foothold before eventually being able to survive that series and scrape out a win. So the fact that O1 have already started off strong here, it bodes well for them. And I think one thing that they are going to handle quite well, I expect, is the 50-50 game. The club made 50-50s look like 90-10s against
Fireburner stood behind them, just go, really? This is going to happen against me, of all people?
Yes, that's one thing that the Middle Eastern region and O1 Esports are absolutely known for. So they'll be looking to try and just control the club in those engagements, at least force the outplays. And if they were paying attention to the club version 1 series, then they would have noticed that the club, they like to lunge in. They like to dive on a lot of challenges. If you can just focus on getting the ball around that initial challenge, then you're going to be fine. The player who's lunged in is out the play for just a while. They recover quickly, but version 1 were able to put the ball around those challenges, really just go for sidewall outplays, vertical outplays, corner wall outplays, rather than direct on goal or backboard. Something that O1 have to do, but already lost. Puts the club in front. A close cheat from both teams goes just in the favor of the club. I mean, that was a super close cheat from O1 Esports, but when the ball goes over the top of your head, you got nowhere to go.
Well, a great way to get yourself going. Not necessarily from open play, but that's where the power of the kickoffs do come in. AMS now tasked with getting this game up and rolling for O1 Esports. Lost does take over as Lost got everyone beat. He wipes out another player!
Wow.
And it's only up to Astromic to finish it.
This is more like the club that we've become used to seeing. Lost scores 1 goal and then sets it up on a silver platter for Astromic for the 2nd goal. He's a hard man to handle. Not many have figured out how to. O1 are starting to learn that fact firsthand.
I feel like a player that is like Lost is so rare because he doesn't go heavily mechanical all that often. It's just perfect pathing to everything. He knows how to weight the ball. The club are going to need plenty of that if they want to see themselves through to the main event. Also, quite importantly for the club, they've got themselves some goals from open play. Against version 1, as good as it did start, they also had a period of about 15 minutes where they did not get a goal. But when that offense gets going, you start to get close to about 15 goals in about 15 minutes.
Now KV1 going to give it a go. It's brought to a halt in the back corner. Definitely expect to see a ton of demos should O1 Esports set up shop in the defensive corners like we saw there. O1 Esports, very calculated team. Definitely a very good team when they can show up. It's been about consistency for them. They've been 4-0, 4-0 in their wins, and then only taking 1 game out of 5 in their losses.
Sonic can't quite find Lost. I suppose the name implied that one originally as the infield pass goes over to the invisible man. Good booming clear. So Sonics Up for it.
Oh my.
Doesn't get the best touch. Wanted to get a second one. Doesn't quite pay off, but here is where the club do their best work, not allowing Uri inside the field. Forced to respect Mostyn for that one. Now Astromik. Vic does not come through. Lost on the wall, wins the challenge. How often have we seen that? Sets up Astromik, and the shot bounced. And I think due to the lack of quality, 0-1 can keep the deficit at only 2.
Yeah, that was almost panic on the way back, but the club have it under wraps. They haven't slowed down for a moment in this series so far. Absolutely drilling the ball every single time that they get a chance to. Mostyn's in a brief 1v1. Lost not going to be able to catch up to him, but the flick is not going to work, and I think all the club fans will be delighted to see KV1 on the receiving end of that. That is the top guy to be on the receiving end of a 1v1 play. One of the best in the entire tournament, not just on the field right now.
Look at that, one boost, who cares? Astromik will not be denied for another opportunity. Lost loses the challenge, first time I've said that today. What will that mean in the long run? It is up to 0-1 Esports to force the issue here. Club have settled. They will happily just keep clearing, sending one at a time. Pressure 0-1 Esports into being aggressive and making a mistake. KV1, a bit careless from him. Mostyn moves forward. There's a demo as well. That's almost a chance for Sonic, but lost ball control completely cuts out any chance that 0-1 Esports had of making their own play. There's the backboard. 2 players had it covered.
I love the slow play from Lost in defense. It's good to see the club changing pace sometimes, even though it is awe-inspiring to witness them rapidly rushing around the field. Just to see that they've got different gears. It's very, very helpful moving forward. Oh, that's an own goal. Mostyn hits the bar. But the club have accidentally got on the wrong side of that one. Phenomenal pass by Ams behind Lost on the backboard. KV1 pre-jumps, catches the ball on the wrong side, and it's 1 goal for 0-1 Esports.
That shot to set up the final touch was phenomenal. Put it behind the 2 goalkeepers, force them to panic. They want to run forward, they want to clear it into their own side corner. Just the option was not there. Now the lead only down to 1. Will that force the club to maybe step up the aggression a little bit more, just to re-establish their dominance? Astromik will not be able to do that. The club a little bit careless with some of these touches. They've been very loose. Astromik off the backboard. Lost will go up. He's beat, but he collapses into Ams. More time gone. 20 seconds away from 0-1 Esports. They're down to 36. Mostyn with Ams to his left-hand side. Zizonix looking to try and bump Lost.
Yeah, well defended.
Just so comfortable. Well done, the club.
There's excellent defense in the back corner. Now time really running out for 0-1. They've got to go and force the issue here. They've got a lot of problems just getting control of the ball. Lost once more. Punches it through. The brute force style. So successful every time he gets behind the ball. He stays that way. Sonic's actually going to fake it into the middle here. Am's trying to knock it back towards him, but Sonic's didn't have any boost. He has to go get some before making a play. That means the ball will get away from him. The club tie the series.
Lost able to just sell potential clear at the end. Not going to touch it. I'm going to see that one down to the floor. And the club answer back in a big way. Johnny, I know you love your kickoffs, so I think you're going to be quite happy with this sentence, but it all started with the kickoff. It put the club in a position where they didn't have to worry anymore about the lack of goals in the previous game, and they so quick after that.
Yeah, an extremely close streak by Mostyn. I think he might have actually messed up his approach. He looked very uncomfortable when he arrived at the ball. But I'm not sure if it would have mattered. Lost was all over it. And the second play, again, just lost in the setup. I mean, just get the ball to this guy near the opposition net. He'll do the rest. It's something we've seen from Furia. Just get the ball to Jan and let him finesse his way through the defense. So the club have a similar idea, but definitely different when it comes to execution. Lost is less finesse and more about brute force. He makes it work just as much as Jan does. They've definitely got a tougher task than many expected here, though, with 0-1 Esports really showing up for this 5th round. It's wonderful to see our contest in round 5. We didn't think we were going to get one with Optic Team Secret. Secret rallied made that one an entertaining series. We've got one from the get-go in 0-1 Esports against the club.
And how big could this be for the club? For South America in general. Need to find a way to put those plays together. Is it possible against a team like 0-1 Esports, who have reasonably been counter-punching? Here we go with Ams. Just try to loft it over Astromic, who is always around. There's never an end to the play. The play ends about 2 seconds after the 100 boost is gone. And even then, they'll still try and bump you and steal whatever you've got. As that is just pure outpacing. The club a step ahead.
And careless players time and time again here from 0-1. Not the first time this game that the ball's just been dumped down towards the middle of the pitch, and it's not going over anyone. Now, if you're clearing the ball down the middle of the pitch, it's got to be a hard clear. It's got to be over the top of the defense, or at least awkward. You know, these clears didn't have any power on them. It makes much more sense to put those sideways, keep it in the corner. 0-1 Esports being a bit stuck in the mud. Club happy to oblige the opportunity they've been given.
Back to the midfield. Astromic. Heavy first touch and definitely put the pressure on. KV1 ends up missing. It's up to Ams to get rid of this pressure. He can't get contact, but almost worked out. All eyes now on the 0-1 Esports transition. That one hits the post, and now a chance to try and break away for the club. It's lost. Passes it over to his own side. A heavy first touch, though. Couldn't set up for the hook shot.
Yeah, well defended by 0-1 Esports. Any 1v1 with Lost is a terrifying sight when he's got that much pace on him. That's a better 50-50 from 0-1 as well. Deflecting the ball into that back corner, inviting the club forward, inviting him to a position where they could overextend. They're definitely quick to challenge the aerial plays as well. That's not a weakness of 0-1. But they're in a bit of trouble here again. Astromic rattles the bar. Sonic's able to intercept after the ball comes back off the bar.
Yeah, beautiful play there by Sonics. His team was in trouble, but realized that they don't need an extra body. Leave himself to clean up. So we are seeing quite a few whiffs. It's made it slightly chaotic and difficult to read for either side. As Mostyn narrowly avoids getting bumped in the midair. Astromic now, looking for the setup. Gets bumped on his way through, can't get a second touch. Find the play over to a teammate. Mostyn's turn. 0-1 Esports that are still a goal down, almost halfway through here, game 3. Ams goes for it, it's Sonics. Beat to the ball, but here's the best chance someone are going to have for a while. Shot saved. Good block, though, from the follow-up. Sonics, infield pass, nobody there for it. And the club swarm the ball and get rid of it.
Yeah, the club are running out of boost on that play. That's a great read by Mostyn, by the way, off his own back wall. Unfortunately for the club, they were really in a bad spot there, but so were 0-1 Esports. They used all of their boost to keep that attack going, so they, in fact, had to just bail on it, go back to the midfield. The club were definitely reeling from that pressure. As our 0-1 here, another very acceptable save. That's really all that 0-1 I've got to settle for at times. Club don't hit the ball softly, whether it's a shot or a pass.
We have seen, though, in this tournament that hitting the ball in the middle is just not going to work. That is always the first place that a defender is going to go to, and getting away with it, considering that was exactly where the shot was put. That one's going to just whistle its way past the front of the goal. Minute and a half left. Who is going to take the advantage here in this best of 7? Who's going to get that first aerial bump there? Both teams are trying. Neither team has really succeeded. Here's Lost. Sets up. Went for the 2v1, but here's the scramble afterwards. And KV1 gets Car, does not get the ball. And that means that it still stays at 1-0. The club, though, well in control. How long is that going to last? Ams unhappy to see the orange car get there before he does.
Yeah, much more simple approach to offense from 0-1 Esports. It's not been too difficult for the club to read. 0-1 Esports still creating half chances every now and then. The club look more dangerous going forward, but they are committing more. 0-1 Esports still unable to find those counters. Now here's an opportunity for one. Mostyn's got to be quick here. He's got Lost coming back behind him. Mostyn is quick, but he's flicked it over the bar. Follow-up shot towards the top corner. It's off the bar as well. And the third man's out of the play.
Moston scrambles, gets there before KV1 can get contact in his car. Zonic's waiting for it, almost got wiped out before he could play the ball. That's a great ball! Moston almost got KV1 in time! But a heroic self-sacrifice clears the ball. 17 seconds on the clock. O1 need to find a chance.
That was what O1 needed. They started to confuse the club. They were playing a little bit more of a creative offensive style. Still, not enough. Starts too late. Now time is gone.
Moston gets a good challenge. Sonic lays claim to it. Ams will stay. Went for it. But the club hold strong. Get game 2 and take advantage in the series.
It's a fantastic read on the fake aerial that O1 Esports were going for. Zonix jumped up immediately, and he was absolutely going for the fake play there, letting the ball drop down for one of his teammates to take a shot. The club able to sniff that one out, close down the incoming shot, and keep O1 Esports at 0 goals in game number 3. So they've got themselves in front. They absolutely look like the more dangerous team, which was expected coming in here. O1 are making them work for this, and that was definitely a great defensive stand at times after initially conceding a bit of a soft goal, O1 Esports.
We do see KV1, 62 points to his name. I believe, Johnny, when we saw the club taking their time out earlier on, he was the one that they were mostly chatting to.
Yeah.
Need to keep him just in it, keep him involved. Because when KV1 is playing, it is something to behold, but they've got to get him online here in this series.
Yeah, at times there's not too much to do with Stromic really stepping up big here, and Lost being a consistent player on the ball. He's gonna rack up points on the scoreboard. KV1's trying to fill in the blanks. He's trying to give his teammates those opportunities to play the ball, and he is the priority defender. He's the third man for this team, and I think it's a good decision to make him the priority defender as well. With all of that 1v1 expertise, he knows how to stall for time. He knows how to survive positions that look impossible to survive in.
We'll be relying on an awful lot more of that, as he is pulled into action here. Nice clear over to Astromic. Brings in Lost. Three-way passing play. Uses the ceiling! Full team used. And O1 Esports don't stand a chance.
Look at the speed from Lost. Ams misread the downward bounce. Thought it might be on target. Flew into the net. And the ball swiftly followed him. 1-0 the club once again. They've opened the scoring quickly in all 3 games since that initial O1 Esports win in game 1.
Now Lost back into the midfield. This is what the club do so well. That transition game, the ability just to set players down the opposite side of the field. In your peripheral, you might have seen Astromic taking the wide line back. Just do not feel the need to panic as Astromic into the midfield. Look at how early Lost went up.
Yeah, he's starting to feel it right now. This is a real problem for O1 Esports. They handled the pressure the club sent at them pretty well for the first 3 games, but signs are that just made the club angry. Lost in particular. On form, quick pre-jump to deny O1 Esports advance. Not for the first time. O1 Esports struggling for boost at times when they're attacking. Boston's just grabbed 100 in midfield. Both his teammates were on 0 there, so he wasn't really able to do too much with the boost that he had. His teammates are telling him, we've got 0. So if your teammates are in front of you with 0 and you've got 100, not too much you can do. That's a tough read. Well done by KV1 to block Moston. It looked like he might have had that backboard read on target. Am's also going to look for the backboard. That's been consistently defended by the club. I think time for O1 Esports to try a different avenue of attack.
Yeah, O1 Esports are hitting the ball cleanly, but it's not going to lead to a goal. Hitting the ball cleanly off the backboard for a team that are waiting for it. Does not seem to be the way to get this goal as Zonix again off the backboard. You can just see the club are loitering. There's the infield. I do like that as an idea, but it was an idea that was communicated first time around. Now we go off the side, and that's going to create some more chaos. Good save, but right down the middle. Chances few and far between. Have to find the corners.
Yeah, you've got to hit the target. You've got to hit the corner. You've got to hit the target in a better way than that. Lovely little mind game there by Moston in the back corner, but O1 Esports are just not getting that last touch that they desperately need. They are creating chances. Sometimes it's telegraphed with the infield pass, but if nothing else, they're starving the club from boosts, and they are making life difficult for the club when they've got them on the back foot. They don't have that finishing touch. They don't have that player like Lost, who can just go and put the ball in the net himself every single time that you give him half a chance. Either that or take out the last man, leave it open for a teammate. That's much better. What a pass by Zizonics, but 2 players all over it. The club are reading the passing plays extremely well at the moment.
Just making sure that O1 Esports are doubly aware that that was never going to work. The club, well informed. And if this keeps up, O1 Esports cannot find something to break down the club, like version 1 managed to do. They could be seeing their way out of this tournament. Zizonics hands it back over to Lost, and this position, well, I was going to say the position you want him to be in. We don't know where that position is anymore. He waits to respawn back on the field, and it does give O1 Esports at least temporary control.
Yeah, once again, though, the attack looks like it's somewhat fizzling. Oh, Ams is going to stick around for this, actually, and he gets the ball just off the post. Well, he didn't have much boost, but he decided to turn anyway, and that might have made the shot more awkward than it looked. Didn't have 100 boost to play with there.
Another chance goes by the wayside. 1 minute. O1 Esports have not been able to do this yet. Their 3rd chance at it. Ams back into the position of KV1. I don't like these attempts to transition through the hard hits anymore because the power is gone. Whatever was there in the opening 2 minutes is not there anymore. It has been giving up possession to the club. Has Lost against 2 players. That is one challenge that he is going to lose, but KV1 not having the same sort of problems. Steals the boost. Almost finds the goalkeeper as well. Now off the backboard. O1 Esports didn't have anybody over there. Cut rotation by the club, and more importantly, so much time wasted for a ball that just goes straight back into the path of KV1. Might go the entire way. Low challenge into the corner.
A respectable stand in defense once again from O1 Esports, but they need to get the ball up front. They need to start creating proper chances on net. When they've passed, it's been intercepted. When they've shot, it's been too slow or off target. All else has been down to the club's brilliance in pressuring them and drawing out mistakes. The club win once more, 3 straight, and now 3 match points for Sam's number 2 team. They're number 3 on the seeding. They're power rank number 2, and they're trying to join Furia in the World Championship to keep up the streak of every single World Championship that South America have been a part of, containing 2 South American teams. They look like they're ready to do it, Shogun.
And for South America, that really would just maintain the momentum that the region has had. Came in, and everyone sort of looked at South America as, oh, this is so much fun to watch. They just go all out on offense, not really anything defensively. That's so changed. The narrative behind this region has completely changed to the point now where for the first time, we're hearing people talk about potential South American world champions. But the reason why you said that, Johnny, is because we've got a timeout. Yeah,
we got a timeout from O1 Esports. They've just got to get those finishing touches together. There are definitely 2 chances there. Got to look at the replay. Ams had a bit of boost left over, so even though he wasn't like fully ready for the play, should have had the goal on target. And before him as well, it was Zizonics with a free shot straight at the keeper. And these are goals that O1 Esports can't afford to be letting go away from them. Their chances have not been sufficient to just let those opportunities go by. The club, meanwhile, they are absolutely on fire. It's winning every single game by 1 goal since Game 2 started, but yeah, O1 Esports haven't scored 2 games in a row now. It's got to be getting inside their head a little bit when your shooting is not working, when it's coming off the post. It's actually, funnily enough, a problem that version 1 had against the club today. They had 3 open nets, 1 from each player, 3 consecutive games. They were able to figure out a way to start hitting the target with those plays. You've got to wonder, do O1 Esports have that same star power on their lineup? Do they have that same quality? Figure out, well, what is going wrong here? It's clearly mechanical. Can they fix it before it's too late?
For me, it all starts with slowing down Lost. That was something that V1 were able to do. We started off that series talking so much about how good Lost was doing. And I feel like we didn't really mention him quite as much later on. I do not think that was Lost's fault. I think he was just better covered by the rest of V1. So it comes down now to O1. Have you got those players? Can you do that? Can you, whilst Lost is transitioning, say, no, Midfield is ours. We want to keep attacking.
Well, I think, you know, when it comes to game plan, I would be surprised if O1 change anything at all. I think that their problems are mechanical. They had a defensive mistake to concede the only goal in game number 3, just poor clears time and time again, and poor shooting had them missing opportunities that could have led them to winning game number 4. So when you look at those 2 games, consider that actually O1 Esports had opportunities there, and yeah, I think they're probably just going to do more of the same, and this timeout to me is probably, I'd expect it to be more of a momentum thing. Club have won 3 straight games, let's just take a pause for a minute here, and then just hopefully for O1 Esports be able to put it together, get us into the business end of the series.
You have to do what you can. The timeout, even if not much is said to change you stylistically, we have seen that the club are a team that are either on or off. And if you can just get the club to slow down, get them back to what was happening in game 1 where nothing was really coming together for them, then you will have a much better look for the rest of the series. But the task is as such. O1 Esports have to win 3 in a row against a team like the club who still have their timeout. The ball back down, KV1. That's into a solid position for AMS, but I think that's, again, to your point there, Johnny, not the contact that AMS would have been going up to that expecting to get.
Yeah, they were either going to go for one of 2 things, like full control or a big clear. The time for AMS on the ball there. He's got a past 1, decides to play for the boost steal. No immediate follow-up for O1, so possession is gone. Once again, they've had the lesser of the chances between these 2 teams. It's 1 reset lands for Lost, he offloads. Double commit from O1, the recoveries are coming through. Quickly enough for the back wall to be defended. Definitely a panicky game for O1 Esports. They'll be hoping that the club start to deteriorate at some point. They did have a couple of shaky games against V1, but so far against 0-1 Esports, it's been so solid from the club. I mean, way to regain from a tough loss earlier in the day.
So far, the club have dominated possession. Good clear. Austin sees it go skying past him. And now the counter-attack. The club scored like this in game number 2. Will they get another? It's definitely gave it a go, but here's KV1 in his preferred role. Holding onto that midfield. He has been recycling play over and over again.
Oh.
And it's KV1 who will get the goal.
And once again, it's simple. It's a poor clear from O1. AMS looking to catch the ball on the back wall. He accidentally spikes it downwards. Now, if he was trying to half volley that by clipping the ball and no jump half volley, just letting the ball bounce off your car and the wall at the same time, he definitely didn't mean it to go in that direction. He's got to be aiming down the line there. Really, that is a massive mistake that O1 Esports can't afford to make. Club have got so much offensive prowess on their team. Giving them free goals is just asking for trouble.
O1 now up to 13 minutes plus without a goal to their name. It has gone monumentally wrong ever since game number 1. Zonix clears, but there's just no options. And I think everybody in the world right now, if you put these 2 teams into a power clear game, you would expect the club to win it. But a rare chance to the opposite side of the field. Lost, takes control of the ball. A wipeout off the 3rd player. Gives that breathing space back over to the club. This is the most that we've seen from O1 in quite some time. They have to take advantage of exactly that. Mostyn, only as far as Lost. Zonix will lay claim, or you would have at least hoped so. It's now a bit of a scramble just to recover it. This has really been, for me, Johnny, the biggest problem for O1 is that the place can't get started because every time they do, there's a mistouch, there's a whiff. It's something that just shatters whatever momentum they're starting to gain.
It's just a real issue with when they lose a game, it just all goes out the window. The clears are ineffective. The shooting is nowhere to be seen. That's
okay, I like it.
Idea there by AMS, but the club are never a team to just leave the ball in defense, so they of course just pile it straight through. This could be the last 45 seconds of O1 Esports World's Wildcard and indeed World Championship. The club just a small moment away from qualifying to Worlds. It's a team that didn't even know if they were going to be here until Furia made a run at London. Now here they are, but oh, what a save. KV1 had to do a little bit more work. So Onyx testing him. KV1 gets the save. Now just shade under 20 seconds left for O1 Esports to work with.
Last gasp here from O1 Esports. This is the final throw of the dice. And Ams is moving back. He's got an opportunity, but it wasted so much time. Lost takes control and looks to send the club through to the main event. It's all about getting the ball to the floor now. Nosden keeps it alive. Ams steals 100 boost in the side of the field. Have to go coast to coast here. Can they do it? There's nobody over there. The club are through to the main event.
What a run, what a story. The club get the third win in the wildcard, round 5, 4 straight games over O1 Esports, who started off strong but could not hang with the pressure the club were putting on them.